Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And this is going to be Woman by Doja Cat, but Wootae's choreography. Now I do know that he is the choreographer for Street Woman Fighter Season 2, that concept video. And this is a Patreon request, so shout out to Y for the recommendation. Thank you for your support and investment to me. Definitely appreciate it, and I'm very excited to take a look at this. And I can't wait to watch Wootae do it, because I saw all of Street Woman Fighter do it, and so I can't wait to get into this. So let's take a watch. Ooh. Millions. This was Deepens Off, right? Oh. Yeah. I could be on everything. I mean, I could be the leader, head of all the states. Yeah. I could be the CEO, just like a Robin Fenty. And I'ma be there for you, cause you on my team, girl. Don't ever think you ain't having girl. They wanna pit us against each other when we succeed, and for no reasons. They wanna see us end up like we were Gina or Mean Girl. Princess or queen, tomboy or king. You've heard a lot you've never seen. Mother Earth, Mother Mary, rise to the top. Divine feminine, I'm feminine. So impressed with this choreography. Wow. Wow, that was so pleasant to watch them do. That was so nice, and I love just how immediate we just got to see the energy. Even the captions: Wootae, Doja Cat, Woman, let's go. This was brilliant. Thank you for this recommendation. I'm so glad that I'm able to take a look at it now. I love that doom, boom, doom, boom, and nice and smooth. Boom, just seeing, like, they did a fabulous job of creating this moment of where he wanted us to listen and what parts of the song, which was so nice in that beginning. Like the tail ends are just so tasteful, and I freaking loved it. Yeah, right there into the groove. I love the utilization of the hips with the chest and how they complement, but they're all like subtly different, but they all tailor together really well. Ooh, that little twist of the fingers there. Ooh! Woman, let me be your... That woman, look here, I want to learn this, like very much so. I may one day just watch this choreo over and over and over again, at least do a chorus or something. This just feels and looks so good to do. It really does. And notice how what he did here is he built it up a little bit more in that groove. You know, woman, it's small, hit. Yeah, so it goes small, small. Then the third hand lifts up the other arm so we can naturally make it bigger. And he let his torso involve and snake through a little bit more here. And then boom, boom, you know, and going from the chest to the hips there. And then creating a spot like this with your hand, a lot of times when you cover it, because some of them are choosing to cover it, and then I believe he is keeping it lower. So something interesting here is by having this upper body a fixed point. So I've mentioned this before in other videos. Whenever you have a section or a part of your body that is still and everything else is moving, that is a focal point, but it also doesn't take away from the main focal point, which he wanted to be the hips, which is what we see here, which is really nice, you know, which I really love. I love that. And that right there too, woman, like it feels very unified because we know, like, I don't know if this was, they filmed this because of the video or like he was found because of the choreography. I'm going to naturally assume he was contracted to choreograph for Street Woman Fighter. And then this is him posting the full choreo with his assistants. And yeah, but either way, this dance is so like, it makes me want to melt. Like it makes me want to learn this really, really bad, which I actually may. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if I have like a Saturday and I'm like, let's learn something, you know, but I love this where it goes subtle and then it just builds it up and then he chills it out. And that's still chill. It's just a different groove, you know, but it feels and it just complements what's already happened, which is just, it makes me want to melt. Yeah, and it goes melt to both sides and then he chills to one side, so it varies it up a little bit more. Yeah. I can be a woman. Nice. Yeah. Goodness gracious. That chorus is fire. That chorus is fire. I really can't get enough of it. It is so satisfying. And I love watching them do it. I really do. Just them being able to have such a looseness, because also note too, like a lot of times in the dance realm, you don't see guys as much approach a more legato groove like this. I mean, it honestly depends on the algorithm that you have on social media would determine what you're exposed to. But I would say, because I've seen a lot of dance videos, a lot from multiple parts of the world, whenever we look at the Korean community of movers, I don't see as many guys approach with this type of groove work in this way as much as I see from my culture and community, or from when I see, you know, New Zealand, or I see Australia, or I see other communities. And I think that's absolutely fine, but that's something I want to take note here that I really love, is the fact that they had people from Street Man Fighter choreograph for Street Woman Fighter, so it feels like it's a huge collaborative effort. And you have people who are from the Street Girls Fighter that, you know, were from that are on Street Woman Fighter now. So it just feels more familial and more communal. And there's nothing more Switzerland than going with a different gender to choreograph it, right? So even if they have a sense of affiliation or friends with who's in the show, that's still like they were from Street Man Fighter, you know. It's not like it was Lip J who came in and choreographed, because I know a lot of members from Mana Queen are heavily affiliated with Lip J. They had her as a guest, right? So I think like that's something important to note here too, that I feel like Mnet made a good choice of going with kind of the most neutral situation you can in this regard, which I love. Now we're going into the individual crews. So I'm trying to remember. I do remember the first one was 1 mil. And some of you said that there was a chance there's a secondary challenge that took place that possibly would have influenced who got how many counts. And I feel like 1 mil and Demon Dot both got 2 8 counts. And everybody else only got 1 8 count. Some of them, like, I love that right there. And it's funny, it's how they did the, he did that little run that we saw in the dance rank mission with the rookie crew. And I saw that and I thought that was really cool. Yeah, just going boom into this groove is just so nice. And what's really cool too is the fact that all of this choreo, when you see them do it, it is all flow and cohesive. But when you saw the crews do it, the crews added their essence to it, which is what made it feel like it was them. Like, you guys all told me, you're like, no, Wootae choreographed all of it. And I had no idea that he did. I assumed that he choreographed the tail ends, the bookends of it, and everybody got to choreograph their 8 count or 2 8 counts of their own content. So that just speaks volumes to the cohesiveness that he brings, but as well as the dynamics that he shifted per 8 count for each crew, because each crew was able to be showcased in a very authentic way, which I loved. Just that little walk there was so nice. Then it goes into the, yeah. And it is cool how it's all connected, and it's and I think the camera work on this was really nice too, for when they did the concept video. But here it just feels like one big dance, you know. I will say my only note for this, but it makes sense why they didn't choose to do this, is they're keeping it on the midline. Like they're keeping it, like they have some squatting that takes place. They don't really jump as much. They do some hops and bounces, but they never really explore the floor as much. But that could be because whenever you're trying to factor in 8 crews with 8 different personalities of movement, you don't want to set a crew up with more difficult levels, right? And you want them all to be viewed equally when you're doing a trailer, right? You don't want one to naturally stick out. But of course, whenever you have a crew do 2 8 counts versus 1 8 count, there's naturally more an 8 count of screen time that's happening. But I'm just saying, like, it makes sense why they didn't choose to do that. Now, if this was just choreo that he taught in a class, and it was this long, I would wish personally, as somebody who would be learning it, to have some sense of floor work. But it makes 100% sense why there isn't a lot of floor work, if any, in this because of that.
Cause you on my team, girl. Don't ever think you ahead of these niggas' dream, girl.
Yeah.
They wanna pit us against each other when we succeed.
And I love this here, just being able to utilize the footwork a little bit more depending on who the crew is. Like just being able to do that kind of borracho step was so nice. I love that. Hey, da da da. Yeah, and I know that house section too went to Wolflow, so I actually really love the fact that that had a more foundational and movement quality to the content he actually put there in comparison to what he did before. The other ones he did more like abstract vibe as yourself with this texture, right? But it really felt more dense in the footwork, and I that was, you know, I'm assuming that he was like, okay, this is, you know, we'll flow, let's do this. You know, I'm curious about the choreographic process of this because of just being contracted out to this type of thing is different than whenever you're working for a K-pop group or whenever you're working for like a competitive dance group. It's just different, you know?
Mother Earth, Mother Mary, rise to the top.
Yeah.
Divine feminine, I'm feminine.
There, right there, we saw that Jam ate that mess up. And I know some people said that they made like a couple changes to it, but all in all, I think it was great.
Each other when we succeed, and for no reasons. They
Da 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 da. Hey, hey, yeah, this is Man and Queen with the dips. And they did and they did that big dip to finish. So I like for there, in order to keep it all cohesive, he kind of dipped out of that. But it makes sense why, you know, if he directed this too, why I'd have them just dip a little bit deeper there. And honestly, like that little step and then going into the next movement, it looks very similar to how Kirsten battles. It really did, and I love that. That's why it's like that Jam section, I think, looked so much like them. That's why I really thought like they choreographed it. So kudos to Wootae. With the salsa step, with the claps. Now we did see those claps earlier. I think it was when he did Deep and Dop section. But honestly, it doesn't freaking matter because it looked great, and you were dealing with one crew versus everybody, and you have people on platforms and people that are making a square on the outside, so it works and it matches the music really well, and it is different than just the 2 claps going up. It is the 2 claps in center, which is great. That broke down, boom boom boom, like that was nice. I know I've seen a couple K-pop groups that would do that kind of isolated. For me, it's like Toy Man and popping, where it's one part of your body isolates and then the next one pops to isolate back over, and I love it when people explore that movement. That boom, 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 hey, boom. Like, everybody hit that so well. And there, what's interesting is this woman hit, diddy. So, like, the hips didn't happen on the 3 and 4. It went on a 3 and 4. And so it's hitting that boom. So that's a really important thing to know here. So if you take a look here at the hips. Oh, it went boom, boom, boom. And then from here, watch. So smooth. Yeah. Hips open. Like, even that subtle rhythm shift really makes that look different than what we've already seen. That right there, even with the little head moving over. So there's a difference between doing it without the head, and then when you add just the head, it really makes it look more authentic. I love that. And honestly, also take note, they're doing the whole thing. They're not broken up into different sections. Remember, all the girls, they all learn the beginning and the end, and then they learn their 8 count or their 2 8 counts of content. They had 10 8 counts of crew exclusive choreography. And then they had the whole 2 or 4 8 counts at the beginning, 2 to 4 8 counts at the end. That's a lot of content for them to remember and for them to have that kind of presence with. So honestly, the longevity of the choreo and that they're able to demonstrate it with us, this type of vibe is mad impressive. I love that. I love that boom, doo-doo. Like that's just, this pocket is just so doo-doo. So good. It makes me, it's so captivating. That, so fun. Yep. So just finishing it out, like even that right there, just having it going not through the front, but they're kind of vibing it through the back. Just those little choices just make it look very tasteful and dynamically different than what you can normally see. That was so good. Loved looking at that. That was brilliant. Thank you so much, Y, again, for your Patreon recommendation of this particular video of Wootae with his assistant doing Woman. It definitely met and also exceeded my expectations a little bit. I was completely caught off guard by a lot of you guys telling me that he choreographed all of it, because I wasn't expecting that at all, and just seeing the whole longevity of the choreography is just so respectable, and I absolutely loved it. So thank you guys again for watching. If you too want to make a recommendation and have me take a look at it, I do have tiers on Patreon that allow you that opportunity. You can check it out. I'll put it in my description as well as on the end screen of this video, and take a look around, and yeah, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.